Ayan natin nga. Okay, let's begin. Ayan. Annyeonghaseyo. Annyeonghaseyo. So, ayan. Ngayong gabi, our discussion is crop protection. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about, last night we discussed about crop science. Now, let's discuss crop protection. Okay, bakit siya mix-mix ko na lang? Kasi related naman din sila. Okay, so when you talk about crop protections, there are a lot of topics that we need to discuss. We have plant pathology, entomology, um, weed science, pesticide calculation, calculation and calibrations, and etc. So madaming kailangan i-discuss sa crop protections. But as what I have told you, during your last minute review, that's the time that I'm going to discuss the entomology. Separate ko lang yung entomology at saka entomology lang alone. So, entomology lang yung i-separate ko doon. Okay, so kasi maraming lumalabas sa exam na entomology. Okay, kindly have your notes with you. Don't worry because these slides will be uploaded sa inyo sa Telegram. Okay, so yung wala pa sa Telegram, send ko mamaya yung link para makapasok kayo. Okay? So when you talk about crop protection, so we have this different the content of our discussion for tonight, which is first we are going to tackle about plant pathology. Okay? Plant pathology muna yung itatakal ni Sir. This is not my this is not my special uh, specialization at hindi ko siya major ha, but ang akin lang is to share my knowledge and also paano ko siya how the way na nagsastudy ako ng plant pathology, crop protection. And then, paano siya mas madaling intindihin. Okay? Hindi naman kailangan na specialize ka sa ganitong subjects. Alam nyo, there are a lot of mga teachers, ng mga doctors na masters na ng kanilang specialization, tsaka major din ng specialization ng crop protections, mga plant path, entomology, no, na nahihirapan pa rin nahihirapan silang mag-explain. Kasi nga, hindi kasi tayo pare-parehas ng naiisip. Hindi kasi tayo pare-parehas ng utak. Magkaiba po tayo ng iniisip. Tsaka magkaiba po tayo ng understanding, yon. So, now, ang aking ginagawa is to reach you out, no, doon sa mga hindi pa masyadong kakilala si crop protection or si plant pathology. So, I'm here to help you to understand more about this plant pathology para mas maintindihan po ninyo. Kasi minsan nakadepende din po tayo minsan sa teacher o sa nagtuturo. Minsan may mga teacher talaga na hindi tayo nakakaintindi kahit anong explain pa hindi natin naiintindihan. And saka meron din mga teacher na maintindihan natin agad-agad kasi alam nila kung ano yung gagawin nila or ano yung techniques or methods sa pagtuturo para mas madaling maintindihan ng kanilang ng nakikinig or ng kanilang estudyante. Now, these are the content that we are going to discuss about plant pathology. We will tackle about the etymology, the definition of this plant pathology and science and art of plant pathology, the objectives and economic importance, especially global and in the Philippines. Okay, and then we have also the types of crop losses. It's either types of crop losses is either infectious or non-infectious disease siya. Okay, so yun ang ating pag-uusapan for tonight. And aside from that, hindi lang siya plant pathology pag-uusapan natin at marami pang ibang topics. Okay? So, mga common terms, pag-uusapan din po natin yun. Okay, so here is our discussion. We have etymology. Let's start first with etymology. From the word itself, patho or pathos means suffering. Okay, always remember that. Pathos meaning suffering or naghihirap. Okay, or suffering. And logi, alam naman natin in the Greek word, logi is study. Okay, so pag pathology, study or suffering. Okay, so study, suffering. So It is the study of suffering plants. Okay? Suffering plants or plants, study of plant suffering. Ganun. So that is the etymology of plant pathology. Hindi lang siya sa plants, no? Also, meron din human pathology, no? Hindi lang sa human pathology, meron din animal pathology, yan, animal diseases. It talks about how the animal suffering from the diseases, yon, suffering. Saan ba sila nagsasuffer? Yon, pathology. Okay, study of pathology, study of suffering plant. Okay? So, bakit nga ba nagsasuffer ang plants, no? It is because of the diseases or the pathogens na affected po sila. Okay? Ay, naka-open bang mic ko? For sure. Okay, sorry. Naka-open pala. Kinabahan ako tuloy. Yan. So, and then, let's define plant pathology. Or always remember that plant pathology is also known as phytopathology. Okay? Phytopathology. Magkaparehas lang po yan sila. Okay? Phytopathology or pathology, plant pathology are the same. Okay? Phytopathology or plant pathology. Okay? Kasi minsan, sir, magkaiba po ba yung pathology sa phytopathology? Magkapares lang po yan sila. No? Pag sinabi mong phytopathology, it is the study of the organisms and of the environmental factors. Okay? It is the study of what? Organisms. Okay? Study siya ng organisms. Tingnan sa gilid. Organisms and of the environmental factors. What are the environmental factors? That affects or that causes the disease in plants. No? Pwedeng maging cause ng diseases sa isang plants. Okay? So that is what we call plant pathology or phytopathology. Okay? Okay. So, okay, so baka sinawag na phytopathology, it is a short term of plant pathology. Kasi a phyto, it is comes from the Greek word python, which means plants. Okay? Python meaning plants. Okay, dito. Again natin. Bakit siya phytology? Phytopathology, because phyto meaning plants. Okay? Meaning plants. Or Python, ganon. Python po yan, Python. Yan. And then, patho is the suffering and logy is the study. So, phytopathology and plant pathology ay iisa lang po yan sila. Okay? So, it is the mechanism by which these factors induce diseases in plants. Okay? So, other than that, the phytopathology also studying the methods, no? The methods and the methods of preventing or controlling the disease. No, yun. Ano din ang study ng phytopathology? Also sa phytopathology, inaaral din yung methods of or paano siya pini-prevent or kinokontrol ang disease or paano nire-reduce yung damage na nako-cause ng diseases sa plants. Okay? So, yun po ang phytopathology. So, hindi lang po siya about sa environmental factors na nagko-cause ng diseases sa plants, but also, hindi lang siya study ng organism na nagko-cause ng disease ng damage doon sa plants, but also, it is the study of the methods on how to prevent and control the diseases, no, para ma-reduce yung damage na nagko-cause ang isang living organisms sa isang plants. Okay, yun din po ang phytopathology. Okay, so let's now proceed to the science and arts. So, phytopathology as science and arts. Magkaiba. We have science. So, pag sinabing science, it talks about the characteristics. Yun, characteristics. It talks about the characteristics. It tackles about the morphological structures, physiological structures, or behavior of the diseases. Okay? Pag sinabing science, plant pathology as a science, parang theory. It's a theory. Okay? It's a theory. And theoretical, ganon. Theoretical, it talks about the characteristics, the interactions of the pathogens in the plants, and also paano yung paano yung isang plants na affected by diseases. Okay? So paano nagde-develop, ganon. So that is all about the science, no? As phytopathology. Pag art naman, ibig sabihin application po. Oo, application. Hindi lang ito siya applicable sa plant pathology, but also sa ibang, tulad ng economics. Na economics, sabi na, economics is science because it's theoretical. Yung it's a theoretical po kasi yung economics. So also as an art din yung economics kasi nga somehow ina-apply din siya in real life, ganon. So pag art, lagi niyo isipin that is application of the sciences. Yon, application na galing sa sciences. Okay? It's application na galing sa theoretical or theory or sciences, study of sciences. Okay? So, kung ano yung nagigain mo sa studying dito sa science na pathology, ay ina-apply mo naman siya as an art. Okay? As an art. So paano mo siya ina-apply as an art? First is you're going to diagnose. No? You are going to diagnose. That is the first thing that you're going to do, to diagnose. O kung etong diseases ba ay i-diagnose mo siya or diagnose or recognize. Yon, i-recognize mo muna what is this particular diseases. Yon. I-diagnose mo, i-recognize mo kung anong particular diseases ito para magawaan mo siya ng remedial action that is appropriate to what is in your diagnosis. Okay? So next is also number 2. Number 2 is that phytopathology as an art, how you're going to do it application is to assess. Okay? Assess the diseases. Yan, disease assessment or make a forecasting. Yan, make a forecasting kasi sa forecasting hindi naman it's a 50-50 no kung pwedeng mangyari or hindi. No, it's a forecasting. Okay? Okay, so yan. So that is number 2 in the science and art as application. So art as application. So first is you are going to diagnose or recognize the diseases, the plant diseases, so that you can make a remedial actions on or give an appropriate actions or solutions to the diseases. And number 2 is disease assessment. You are going to assess assess the diseases, and at the same time you are going to forecast. No, you're going to forecast kung ano nga ba yung try natin to. Parang you are going to make experimental na din. Ganun pa sa forecasting. And number 3 is to control measures. Yan. Next is to control measures. So that is part of an art because once you already diagnose the plant diseases, you already assess the diseases and make forecasting, that's the time that you can make a control measures to the diseases. That's how you're going to apply or phytopathology as an art. Okay, so that is plant pathology as science and art. Okay, ano again, sa science naman, characteristics yung pinag-usapan, morphological, physiological, the behavior of the diseases in the plants, on how it is affected, and also paano siya i-prevent at the same time. And then also, we have application. Okay, so pag sa application naman, sa art po yan pinag-base na. Art is the application of what you gain knowledge from, what you gain from the studying sciences. No, parang ina-apply mo siya in real life. So what are you going to do? First is to diagnose or recognize the plant diseases para malaman mo kung ano yung gagawin mo or ano yung appropriate or ano bang dapat na solusyon sa problemang ito. Ganon. Tapos number 2 is to assess, no, the disease assessment and forecasting. So nagpo-forecast ka muna, pwede din nag-invent ka or nag-discover ka, nag-invent ka or ng mga halo-halo na inahalo mo yung ganito, ganyan para makuha para gamitin as to prevent and control the diseases. Okay, that is actually the objectives of the objectives of this plant pathology. And number 3 is to control measures. Okay, so wag kalimutan, is to control measures. No, you are going to control, you are going to make measures in order to control these diseases. Okay, these specific diseases. Now, what is the main objectives of plant pathology? Always remember that the main objectives of the plant pathology is to prevent, okay? To prevent or minimize, yon. To prevent or minimize the plant diseases. Yun naman talaga yung gusto natin, di ba? If we are pathologists, our objectives is to prevent or at least minimize the plant diseases. We cannot prevent the diseases, at least we can minimize the diseases until it's gone. Okay? So we have to prevent or minimize the plant diseases, not only sa production, but also to maintain the quantity and harvested fresh commodity until it reach the consumer. So, ibig sabihin that the objectives of plant pathology ay hindi lang siya for prevention and minimization of to minimize the plant diseases, but also i-maintain yung yield. Okay, yung yield or yung quantity na na-harvest. Not just quantity but also the quality that you can get from, no? From the fresh from the farm. Yan, fresh from the commodity that you are yan, na that you are planting, okay? Yun. So that is what we call plant pathology objectives. Okay? Nagets nyo ba? Nagets nyo? Para meron kasi sa crop protections na pathology ang question, tapos hindi ganito ang type of questions. Ang ginagawa nila ay iniiba-iba kasi yung definition yan. Ang mas maganda talaga is alam nyo talaga at saka naintindihan nyo yung bawat definition niya. Kasi pagdating sa board exam, kahit mekos-mekos pa yun ng board examiner, yung question, no? Pero yung thought ay nandoon pa rin, at least alam nyong sagutin. Kasi each of that, you understand it. Okay? Magkaiba sila. Okay? Next is we have the economic importance. So we this is actually in the global, it's an example of global or international economic importance. So we have, ganito pa ako mag-study ha. Paminsan may mga ganito akong mga word like PLBD, like ginagawa ko siyang acronyms. Kasi kung pahabaan ko kasi medyo na siya, medyo mapupulot lang yung utak ko pag ganun. So we have economic importance globally. Let's start first with international economic importance or mga diseases. Let's start first with PLBD or known as potato. Okay, known as potato late blight disease. Okay, that is potato late blight disease. Kailan po nangyari yan? At saan nangyari? Nangyari po ang potato late blight disease sa Ireland. Magkalapit sila pati si Iceland. Okay, see? Ireland. Okay? So, as you can see, this is an example of potato blight. Okay? So, this is an example of potato blight. Here, meron siyang, yan. And then, dito din, pag hinati mo siya, merong, yan, black dito sa gilid, yan. Hindi na po nakakakain yan kasi blight po ang tawag dyan. So, that is affected by a disease called potato late blight disease. Okay? So, yan po ay nag-cause ng famine and death sa Ireland. Ano ang cause ng potato and blight? Famine, okay? Famine and death. Okay? Pagkamatay. Famine and death ng mga tao sa Ireland. Kasi yung potato is a staple food or staple crop siya ng Ireland, no? Kaya nag-cause siya ng famine and death. Okay? It was happened in 1845 to 1846. Okay, 1 year lang yung kanilang 1845 to 1846. And we have CRC. CRC is also known as Coffee Rust in Ceylon. Okay. Ceylon. Yan, Ceylon. Ang alam ko lang kasi Ceylon tea. Yung gano'n. Ceylon tea. Yung green tea. Okay. Saan to nangyari? Sa Sri Lanka. Nangyari ito sa Sri Lanka. Okay. So yung coffee rust in Ceylon ay nangyari yan sa Sri Lanka. So ano ang it destroyed the vast coffee plantation. So nung na-destroy yung vast coffee of plantation, ang sinubstitute nila, no, nagtanim agad sila ng tea, no? They planted the tea was planted instead kasi nga affected, no? Affected ang buong coffee plantation. So yun, ang tinanim nila, substitute is tea. Okay? Ang tinanim nila, a substitute of coffee is tea. And we have, EP is known as ergot. Ergot poisoning. Yan. Ergot poisoning. Okay, sorry. Ergot poisoning, saan po nangyari yan? Sa Europe. Yan po ay nangyari sa Europe. Okay? Ergot poisoning sa Europe yan kasi mga tao mahilig kumain ng bread sa Europe. Okay, mahilig sila kumain ng bread. So, that was happened in 875 after Christ's death. After the death of Christ, AD. Okay? So, ergot poisoning was happened in Europe. It was in 875 after death of Christ. So, the ergot poisoning is also, kaya nagkaroon ng ergot poisoning, no? Because it is acquired from eating the bread made from infected rye grains. Saan infected? Saan galing? Yung ergot poisoning ay nanggaling po siya sa infected na rye grains. Okay? Nanggaling siya sa infected na rye grains. Okay, so it is caused by fungus. Cause po ng fungus disease. Okay? Which is known as Saviceps. Ayan. Saviceps. Yan. Saviceps purpurea. Purpurea. Yan. Caused by a fungus disease known as Saviceps purpurea, which produces sclerotia containing alkaloids that impede blood circulation. Yun. Pwedeng mangyaring mamatay ka, pwedeng mag-impede yung blood circulation mo kasi yung fungus Saviceps purpurea ay nagpo-produce ng sclerotia. Nagpo-produce ng sclerotia para yung parang i-prevent yung blood circulation mo or prevention ng blood circulation mo, parang parang tawag diyan, binabara, ganon. So it is infected in the rye grains na pag kumain nung time nila, pag kinain nilang bread that is affected by a rye grain. So yun, kaya maraming namatay na tao noon sa Europe. Okay, and then we have, so this is in global. No, these are the plant diseases in globally. We have yung mga, this is common and popular: potato blight disease, coffee rust in Ceylon, tsaka ergot poisoning. And then we have also in the Philippines, we have the kadang-kadang disease. Okay? We have the kadang-kadang disease of coconut. Hindi ka nalalagay yan. That's kadang-kadang disease. Okay? Kadang-kadang disease of coconut. So as an example here, these are the symptoms and signs of the kadang-kadang disease. Okay? Kadang-kadang disease. So that is the symptoms of kadang-kadang disease and signs, no? And also, when you talk about kadang-kadang disease, it was first observed. It was first observed in 19 1918. Okay, it was first observed in 1918 and have cost the country a loss over $200 million. So malaki talaga yung naging loss. Alam niyo ba sa Basilan, marami po kasi ano doon, coconut plantation. So due to kadang-kadang disease, so yun, unang panahon, ang ginawa po nila ay pinutol nila, kinat nila yung tree, tinanggal nila yung mga palm leaf, tapos yung mga palms, tapos tinanggal nila yung mga fruits, tapos pinatay nila, sinunog nila yung yung trees, tapos nagtanim sila ng panibago. Tapos ngayon, aside sa kadang-kadang disease, meron tayong bago ngayon, yung kukulisap. It can be prevented it can be controlled by the measure of biological control. As of now, yan ang pinaka-effective, sabi ng PCA, no, yung biological control. And then we have by the use of bees ba yun? As predator. By the use of bees as predators. And we have DMC. DMC is also known as downy mildew of corn. Okay, downy mildew of corn. Okay, downy mildew of corn. The nemesis of corn that losses can be as high as 95%, no, amounting to over 170 million pesos annually. Yung kanyang naloloss yung downy mildew of corn. So now, the downy mildew of corn can be controlled by a chemical seed treatment or chemical control. It can be controlled via chemical seed treatment. Okay? Or pwede ding sabihin na natin chemical control. Okay. So saan tinitreat siya? Sa seed. Okay? Para maiwasan ang downy mildew of corn. Okay? So what they are using for the treatment of this downy mildew, ang ginagamit nila ay metalaxy. Okay? Ang ginagamit nila ay metalaxy. Metalaxy is a fungicide. Tama ba? Metalaxy. Ba pinamemorize ko sa inyo? Metalaxy. As far as remember, it's a fungicide. Kasi downy mildew. Sige lang. Okay. Tama ba? Metalaxy is a fungicide. Next natin. Tama, kasi marami na. Metalaxy. Tama, it's a fungicide. Yun. Kasi nga, downy mildew is a fungicide. Okay? And then, okay, in a fungicide, kailan siya na-discover ang downy mildew? It was discovered in 1978. Okay, it was discovered in 1978. Ang downy mildew of corn. So, ano yung cause ng downy mildew of corn? It is caused by fungus Perennos sclerospora, yan, philippinensis. Sige, lagay ko na lang dito sa chat box. Okay, caused by DMC, caused by Perennos sclerospora philippinensis. Nilagay ko na lang siya ng P or Phil. It means philippinensis. Okay, yan. So, DMC or downy mildew of corn caused by Perennos sclerospora philippinensis. Yon. And we have RTD, ito lumabas sa board exam, rice tungro disease. Rice tungro disease. So, rice tungro disease, tungro is a virus. Okay, it is a rice tungro disease. By the way, ang kadang-kadang disease po is an example of plant diseases na viroids. Ito po ay viroids. Ang downy mildew ay fungi. Fungi, F na lang lagay natin. Ang RTD or rice tungro disease ay virus po yan. Okay? So, affected over 70,000 hectares in 1971. So, it was discovered in 1971. Okay? Yung rice tungro diseases. Okay? Kavans, rough rice loss valued at malaki-laki din. Million din. Like 30 million. Okay? So, rice tungro disease in 1971, no, or a virus, no, that causes our farmers, no, to loses their yield. And we have also CR comfort room, coffee rust, yan, coffee rust, or also a fungi. Okay, coffee rust is destroyed. The coffee ang pinakamalaking na destroy ng coffee rust sa coffee industry is nasa Batangas. Okay, province of Batangas. Okay, so the coffee rust destroyed the coffee industry in Batangas province. Saang province? Sa Batangas. Okay, yung coffee rust, dinestroy niya yung coffee industry ng Batangas province. Citrus decline naman po, pagbaba ng citrus decline, pagbaba ng citrus or citrus decline, nagkaroon din ng citrus decline sa Batangas din po, in Batangas province. Sandali ha. Iba kasi yung kulay lumalabas. Yon. So, we have citrus decline in Batangas. Batangas province. So, after nagkaroon ng citrus decline sa Batangas province, yung mga tao ngayon, ni-replace nila yung citrus na mga trees, kinatman yun nila, inabandon na nila, ni-replace nila into rice, corn, sugar, coconut, and vegetables. Yun. Ibig sabihin yung Batangas prone siya ng mga rust and coffee rust and citrus decline. Okay, and then we have types of crop losses. Okay, so types of crop losses. Okay, so actually they are reduction in the yield, no, those are reduction in the quality of produce, no, kaya nagkakaroon ng crop losses. So we have this, take note these terms, okay, kasi lumalabas, ito yung aflatoxin, lumabas ito sa board exam. So, aflatoxin lumabas ito sa board exam. Okay? Tinanong doon kung ano daw yung napoproduce ng Aspergillus flavus. Yun. Ang aflatoxin is produced by Aspergillus flavus. Okay? Aspergillus flavus. Yan. It is produced by Aspergillus flavus. Okay? Commonly found, saan usually nakikita yung aflatoxin? Sa stored corn. In stored corn. Sorghum. Copra. Root crops. Etc. So, dyan nakikita si aflatoxin. Okay, dyan nagkakaroon or nahanap, commonly found in stored corn, sorghum, copra, and root crops, and etc. Yon. So, it is carcinogenic to it is carcinogenic to animals and plants. Animals and men. Ibig sabihin, yon. Toxic din po yan siya sa animals and human. Okay? And we have okra. Okay, I have ochratoxin. Okay, ochratoxin is a mycotoxin. It is a mycotoxin that produced by Aspergillus ochreus. Yun, okra na. Ochreus, ewan ko ba sa ganyan na. Ochreus. Yan. Aspergillus ochreus or ochratoxin. Ano ba yan? Para i-pronounce. Di ko talaga alam para i-pronounce yan. So, if yan na-intake ng tao, it will cause cancer. It will cause cancer of the liver. Pag na-intake yan ng tao. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya pwede sa tao. Toxic siya sa tao. And we have yellow rice toxins. Okay, it is formed by penicillium. Penicillium. Okay, penicillium. Hindi ko na alam. Penicillium spp. Pag sabing SPP, subspecies. Penicillium subspecies that caused several deaths in Japan. Okay, nag-cause ng several deaths sa Japan. Mahilig talaga din kasi mag-yellow rice yung taga-Japan. And then we have Fomunicins. Okay. Fomunicins, it is formed by Fusarium spp. Formed by Fusarium spp or subspecies. Okay, in corn grains. Okay, in corn grains. Ay, by the way, si Chili, hindi ko nakalimutan. Si Chili, si Erica Joy, sino pinandoon? Hindi nagbigay ng ng contact number. Yung, oo, ma-receive nyo daw siya, expected na ma-receive Tuesday or Wednesday. Hindi kayo nagbigay ng contact number. Pag tumawag yun sa akin, na andyan na paparating na siya. Pag tumawag sa akin, na paparating na yung gamit. So, chat ko kayo, tatanungin ko yung number ninyo. Siyempre, kasi ipa-forward ko sa kanya para kayo na mag-usap. Yun, number ko na lang ang nilagay ko doon kasi hindi kayo naglagay ng number. Wala kasing signal doon sa na pinuntahan ko. Kaya yun. Ni-screenshot ko na lang siya. Hindi din ako nag-ask kasi walang signal. Yun. And then we have Fomunicins. Yan. Alright tayo sa Fomunicin, go back to the lecture. Formed by Fusarium spp in corn grains. Saan yan? Sa corn grains. So, pag yan na-intake ng tao, it will cause esophageal, it will cause esophageal cancer in men. Okay? Esophageal cancer in men. So, esophageal, yan. Basta esophagus. Cancer. Hirap-hirapan pa talaga sa tao. But for animals and animals like horses, toxic po yan sa kanila. Toxic. Animals like horses. Okay, so that is the types of crop loses in. Okay, in types causes, we have aflatoxin, aflatoxin, yeah. And we have ochratoxin, yellow rice toxin, fuminescence, yan. Aflatoxin, it is made by Aspergillus, made by Aspergillus flavus, yan. So nakita yan sa stored corn, sorghum, copra, root crops, etc. And ochratoxin naman is produced by mycotoxin. Okay, it is produced also by Aspergillus ostrasus. Yon. Pag na-intake ng tao, it will cause cancer of the liver. Yellow rice toxins naman, okay, yellow rice toxins, it is formed by Penicillium spp or subspecies that will cause a lot of death in Japan. And then we have fuminescence, no, formed by Fusarium spp subspecies in corn grains, sa mais. No, pag na-intake na tao, it will cause esophageal cancer, and for animals like horses, it will toxic yan para sa kanila. Okay. Next. So let's proceed to the concept of plant disease. Actually, there's a lot of concept sa plant diseases. Okay, but this is for me is in general term. Okay, for me lang is general. Pero madami yan. Concept of plant diseases. So we have, sabi dito ni Wetzel 1929, a physiological malfunctioning caused by animate agents, no? Physiological malfunctioning. Anong physiological malfunctioning? Nagkaroon ng malfunctioning sa physiological aspects ng plants. Ng plants po yan, physiological. Na babara or nagkakaroon ng abnormality sa physiological process ng plants, kaya malfunctioning. That caused by animate agents. Sino ba yung mga animate agents? Yung mga pathogens. It's referring to pathogens. Okay? So yung malfunctioning diseases na yan, it's referring to diseases. Ganon. So according to them, that the physiological malfunctioning caused by animate agents is also called as a physiogenic diseases. It's physiogenic yan, diseases. It is also called as physiogenic diseases according to Wetzel in 1929. Okay. Next. So we are now proceed to the classification of plant diseases. Diba? Yes, last night also we discussed about the classification of crops. So hindi lang crops ang mayroong classification. Classified into groups. No? Pag sinabi natin classification, parang ino-organize siya. Kung alin saan ba siya under na family, saan ba siya under na groups, saan ba siya under na, yun, classify siya as groups. Ino-organize kung saan siya under na species, ganun. So that is classification. Now, what are the classification of crops? No, we have we can use classification of crops in systems, no? Using systems, you have natural systematic, o mga systematic, tapos merong botanical systematic, di ba? Ano pa? Ano yun? Phylogenetic. Ano ba? Kalimutan ko na. Last night lang yun eh. Artificial, yun, artificial, systematic system, artificial system, natural system, phylogenetic system, botanical system, yun. Yun ang mga classifications of cropping systems. And then we have now in plant diseases also. Pag sabing classification of plant diseases sa plant diseases, it means that it is the rational grouping of plant diseases. Rational grouping of plant diseases para madaling ma-identify. Okay? Kung aling particular diseases ba siya na belong sa ang family. Para, kasi meron yan sila mga pag saan siya particular diseases na belong, no, madali siyang ma-identify yung sang diseases. So that's the work of classification. or the function of classification. So we have also according to affected plant organ. So pag-usapan natin yung affected plant organ, according to symptoms, o ano yung pinagkaiba ng symptoms and sign? O, kanina din ka na sa symptoms versus signs, ano pinagkaiba? And then according to type of affected plant, type of affected plant, and then according to type of pathogen that causes the diseases. Ano yung mga pathogen that causes the diseases? Pag-uusapan din natin yan. Okay, let's start first with the classification that is according to affected plant organ. Pag sinabing affected plant organ, it means it is related to physiological processes. Okay? Ang naapektuhan dito is yung physiological, okay? Physiological processes ang affected po dito. Okay? So example, yung root diseases, okay? Foliage diseases. Ano yung foliage diseases? The leaves, okay? Fruit diseases, stem diseases. Okay? So ano yung mga organ natin? Pag sinabing organ, it is composed of tissues. Di ba? Ano yung mga organ natin? So we have stem, flowers, leaves, roots. So there are organs. So ano yung affected? No? Pag sabi plant organ, ibig sabihin, example, leaf diseases, root diseases, kasi organ niya ang pinag-uusapan. Okay? Affected ang physiological processes. Okay? So this one example here is a leaf diseases. Okay? This is a sign and symptoms of a spot. Okay? A leaf spot. Okay? And then we have also, paano malaman ang signs and symptoms? Okay. Later on. So we have according to symptoms. So let's see. Okay. Actually, as you can see here in the image, that is a leaf spot. Okay. So that, as you can see, di ba nag-brown na siya, that is already a symptoms. Okay. So now, what is the definition of how can you differentiate symptoms and sign? Kasi lumalabas yan sa board exam. Oo. Ito lagi lumalabas. Oh, may 1 point na naman kayo. Ayan, symptoms and sign. Symptoms versus sign. Alin sa dalawa yung shock or nakikita na talaga? Limutan ko na. Bulgaran na yung yung diseases. Okay, so ano nga ba ang symptoms and sign? Sorry. Do you have any idea? Okay, sige. Halin tulad ko siya sa tao. Okay, halin tulad ko siya sa tao. Pag sinabi nating sign, example, nagpunta ka sa hospital, nagpa-check up ka. Ganon. Tapos, siyempre, pa-check up ka sa doktor, right? Okay. So, yung tao, nakaka-feel siya ng sakit, right? So, ikaw, nafe-feel mo yung sakit. Nagpa-check up ka kay doc. So, si doc, nakikita niya yung sign sa'yo. Kaya, bakit ka may sakit? Or bakit ka nagkakasakit? Ba't sinecheck yung mata natin, yung mga, natin, yung mga dugo natin, gano'n sa nagpa-CCBC tayo, nagpapa-chem lab tayo, gano'n. So, that's what we call sign. Sign na nakikita ng doktor sa atin. Yung symptoms ay yung nararamdaman natin. Okay? Yung nararamdaman natin. So that is what we call signs and symptoms. Example, yung example sa symptoms. Ikaw, masakit yung ulo mo. Okay? Masakit yung ulo mo. Tapos ngayon, ano yung measure, ano yung control measure ng doctor mo? Masakit po yung ulo ko, doc. Tapos yung sign na nakikita sa ng doktor is it's either mataas yung blood pressure mo. Oo, pwede din 'yun use as measurement. Okay? So it means that yung pinaka-bulgar dyan na na tawag dyan, ang ano yung term ng bulgar? Sinabi ko na yung kanina sa klase. Yung sorry ha. Yung nakikita mo talaga siya, ay tawag doon. Diba, hanapin ko muna siya sa English. Yung talaga. Dali. Ano ba yung term talaga? May term talaga yan siya eh. Yung, okay, ayan, okay. Yung pinaka-visible, yun pala ang term nun. Symptoms is visible. Sa dalawang yan, si signs and symptoms, yung pinaka-visible sa kanila si symptoms. As you can see here, this is the lip spots. Okay? So, visible yung symptoms. Okay? So, yung sign, hindi siya visible. It could be a measurement na yung isang it could be measurement na yung isang plants is caused siya ng bacteria, fungi, yung parang forecast pa lang. Ano yan, cause niya ng fungi, ng ganon, ng fungi, cause yan ng bacteria, ganon. Yung symptoms, visible siya, malalaman mo na, ay, okay, yan ay cause talaga ng fungi. Yung ganon ba ang term? Nagets niyo pag yung sign is first degree, yung ganon, parang first degree siya, it's a first degree of, ibig sabihin may nangyayari sa plants, yung first degree. Yung nakikita nyong yellowing, yung diba, hindi pa siya brown. Diba bago naging brown yan, yellowing pa yung nakikita nyo. So that is a sign. Sign pa lang siya. Pero nung naging brown na siya, so that is already a symptom because it's already visible. Kasi akala mo, nung yellow siya, akala mo is lack of nitrogen lang siya. No? Or lack of sunlight or lack of nitrogen, ganun lang. Akala mo lang yun. So, that is a sign. So, pag sign, first degree, hindi mo pa alam talaga kung ano talaga yung totoong diseases niya or yung sakit niya. It's either nagkaroon siya ng nutrient deficiency or caused by a diseases na ba. Ganon yung sign. Sa symptoms, ito na yung tinatawag na parang nagko-conclude ka na yan talaga yung diseases niya. Conclusion na siya. Okay, that is already okay, ito, cause yan ng fungi. As you can see, di ba, dati yellow, that is a sign. Pero ngayon nagiging brown na siya. It means that it is already caused by diseases. Hindi siya nutrient deficiency. Okay? Hindi siya nutrient deficiency. Umaga, cause na siya ng diseases. Magkaiba po yung nutrient deficiency sa cause ng diseases. Yung nutrient deficiency, pwede mo pa siya maagapan, no? Kasi nasa soil yun. It's either or baka hindi natatamaan ng init, isa din yun. So dahilan kaya nag-yellowing, no? Nagkakaroon ng yellowing sa leaves. No, as you can see there, okay, so that is already a symptoms. Kaya nagbabrown na siya sa lip spot. Okay, naintindihan na ninyo anong pinagkaiba ng sign and symptoms. Yung first degree, kumbaga lower lang ang kanyang affected na diseases, sign yun. Pero yung meron na siya parang higher na talaga, like nako-conclude mo na talaga siya na, that is a diseases, not a nutrient deficiency. So that is a symptoms. Parang nagko-conclude ka na, okay, yun yan. Pero parang lang hindi ko na sinabi na nako-conclude ka. Okay? Parang nagko-conclude ka na, ano yan siya? Lip spot yan. So alam mo na ngayon, na-identify mo na siya na ano yan siya, na that is a symptoms. Okay? That is diseases. Yun. So that's you are going to according to symptoms. So magkaiba po ang sign tsaka si symptoms. Okay? So yung example ng symptoms, yung mga lip spot, yun, rust, smuts, anthracnosis, yan. Anthracnosis sa citrus, madami yan. Anthracnosis, makita nyo talaga, di ba? Yung, di ba, yung yellow, di ba sa sa citrus, dun sa kanyang, sa fruits niya, di ba, una-una yellow pa lang yun. So, may possible na mayroon nutrient deficiency na sa sa aluminum, iron ba, ganon. Akala lang natin sa fruits yon. Pero nung nagkaroon na yung yellowing, nagkakaroon siya ng brown spot, no, meron talaga siya visible yung diseases na yon. It is already affected by anthracnose or diseases. Okay? Yun na yun. And then we have mosaics. Mosaics is a virus. Okay? So, and then wilts, and then fruit rots. Okay? So, those are symptoms na kailangan nyong malaman. Examples lang yun ng mga symptoms. Okay, now let's proceed to according to type of affected plant. Okay, so what do you mean by according to type of affected plant? So, example, it is a type of plant na vegetable. So, vegetable diseases. Yun. Vegetable diseases, ornamental diseases, or disease of ornamentals. Ano yung kalamihang diseases ng ornamentals? No? Marami. No, merong spots, yellowish, ganon. So, ornamentals, pwede din sa forest trees, pagka yung nahuhulog yung mga leaves, no? Tapos, diseases sa field crops. So, isa din po yun sa affected sa plant. So, according to type of affected plant. Depende sa anong plant. Okay? Magkaiba yung affected plant organ, ha? Yung affected plant organ, yung organ mismo ng plants. It's either leaves, flowers, stem, roots. Pag according to symptoms po yun. So, magkaiba po ang signs and symptoms. Signs is a first degree. Wala ka pang there's no conclusion yet na to conclude na ano yan siya. Pero, gumagawa ka na ng measurement or control para maiwasan siya, no, para maiwasan siyang dumami or mag-cause talaga siya ng diseases. So, and symptoms, yun man nalaman na magkaroon siya ng diseases na ito are affected by diseases. Conclusion, second degree na siya. And then we have according to type of affected plant, anong klaseng plants? Vegetables ba siya, trees ba siya, ornamentals ba siya? So, yun po ang ibig sabihin ng classification. Okay? Naintindihan? Okay. Next is according to the type of pathogen that causes diseases. Pag sinabi mong type of pathogen, so what are those pathogens? Those are pathogens that is infectious or non-infectious. So there are pathogens that is infectious that cause diseases. We have fungi, mycoplasmas, bacteria, viruses, viroids, protozoa, parasitic flowering plants, mga parasitic plants, pwede din po yun as infectious plant diseases, and also nematodes. Lahat po yan ay pag-uusapan natin sa plant pathology. And also, meron din po tayong non-infectious disease. Ano nga ba yung mga non-infectious disease? It is either affected by extremely high or extremely low temperatures. O pwedeng malakas ang grabe ang init, mataas ang init, no, or mababa ang temperature or sobrang lamig, no? That is not infectious type of diseases na pwedeng mangyaring pathogens. Yan, diseases, nagkakos ng diseases sa plants. And then, aside from that, unfavorable oxygen relations. Nagkakaroon ng unfavorable oxygen. And then, unfavorable moisture conditions. Kasi meron talaga kasi mga plants na ayaw talaga sa mabasa talaga. Meron din mga plants na gusto sa basa, moist, no? Unfavorable moisture conditions. And then, nutrient deficiency. Ito na yung non-infectious, yung nutrient deficiency. So, it's either deficient siya sa mga macro elements or micro elements. Yun. Or mga trace elements. And then, pag sinabi ng, also in the air pollution, non-infectious din po yan, yung air pollution. Napapansin nyo ba yung mga puno-puno, yung mga landscape na ano sa daanan, sa street na dinidesign nila. Some of the some of the ornamentals and flowering plants, no, pag sobra yung pollution ano sila parang instead na kulay red nagiging kulay gray or black na siya or white because of the air pollution, no? Isa din yun, papangit na siya, no? Ano siya, mukhang abo na siya, hindi na makikita yung kagandahan or beautification ng isang ornamentals or flowering plants. And aside from that, no, meron din infectious disease, yung mga toxicity ng pesticides na ginagamit natin. Toxicity ng mga pesticides na ginagamit natin na pwedeng possible ng infectious disease na pwede din pag i-take ng tao yan, toxic din yan sa tao or pwedeng mamatay yung tao, ganun. So that is according to the type of pathogen that causes the diseases. Infectious, yung mga bacteria, fungi, virus, ganun. And then non-infectious, may yung mga, it's either by a climate, unfavorable conditions, pwede din yun. Tapos mga air pollutions and pesticides or mga toxicity that we used. No? So dapat meron talaga tayong proper pesticide calculations or computations, calibrations in the applications of the pesticides, no? Or na ginagamit natin. Okay? Okay, so these are the common terms na lagi nating ilalagay sa isipan natin because laging lumalabas sa exam. Okay, pag sinabing pathogens, it means are identified by the host. Okay? Pathogens identified by the host, they infect. Okay? And the symptoms they cause. Okay? Symptoms they cause, host they infect. And it's also important to identify the specific properties. Yon. Ay, para ma-identify yung specific properties of the pathogen and contribute to its infectious capacity. Characteristics known as virulence. Yon. Para yung virulence, ibig sabihin po yung pagkalat ng diseases, infectious diseases, ang capacity ng na-infect niya. Okay, so discuss din natin mamaya. That is one of the common terms, virulence. Okay, so pag sinabing pathogens, again, it is in any agent. It's either biotic or abiotic agent. Ganon. That causes a diseases. Okay, that is causes a diseases. It's either used to refer a living organisms. Yun, pwedeng mga bacteria, ganun, fungus, or other causes diseases. Okay? And next, another terms is parasite. Okay. A parasite is an organism living in, on, or within other organisms, or with another organisms. Okay? Living in, on, or with another organisms. In order to obtain nutrients, grow, or multiply, often in a state that directly or indirectly harms the host. So, ibig sabihin, yung parasite po, nakadepend siya. Okay? Nakadepend siya wholly or partly sa other or another living organism. Okay? Nakadepend siya sa ibang living organisms, no? Para sa kanyang pagkain. Okay? Depend for food. Okay? Depend for food, para sa kanyang pagkain. Nakadepend siya sa ibang living organisms. Pinapatay niya. No? Example ng parasitic, you have Rafflesia. Yun. For its food. And then most parasites also are pathogens. So there are also parasites that is also pathogens. Okay? And we have obligate parasite. From the word itself, obligate, it means, okay, which require living cytoplasm and have extremely specialized nutritional requirements. Yun, specialized nutritional requirements are exceptionally difficult, and often impossible to grow in a cultural dish in a laboratory. Example of obligate parasites are the downy mildews, the powdery mildews, and the rusts. Okay, always remember, pag parasites, it is an organisms that is restricted, no? It is restricted to subsist on the living organisms. Yon. So restricted to subsist on living organisms and attack only living tissues. Anong ina-attack ng obligate? Living tissues. Okay? And aside from that, okay. And aside from that, obligate parasites is also a parasites that depend on the host stage. Okay, nagde-depend lang si obligate parasites kay host stage. Kaya nga, require siya ng living cytoplasm. Yung living cytoplasm po, ibig sabihin po niyan ay host. Okay, it's a host. So, ang obligate po ay nakadepend lang din siya sa host. Yan. Host. Okay, that is obligate parasite. Example, virus. Yun, obligate parasites. Yan. And we have facultative parasite. A facultative parasite, it is a parasite organism that is normally saprophytic but is capable of being parasitic. Okay, it is saprophytic. Pag saprophytic, it means next ata. Okay, saprophytic or saprophyte means it can absorbs or grows on decaying organic matter. Pag saprophytic. So balik tayo doon sa facultative parasite. No, facultative parasite is an organism that is normally saprophytic but is capable of being parasitic. Bakit siya capable of being parasitic? Kasi yung facultative parasites po, it is a parasite that can skip. It can skip parasitic stage, no? For several generation. It can skip parasitic stage for several generation. Ayan. So that is what we call facultative parasites. Yan. That is facultative parasites. Okay, so yun. Magkaibang obligate at saka facultative parasites. Okay? Pag sinabi mong obligate, meaning nakadepend sa hosts. While facultative, it can skip the parasitic generation or normally a saprophytic. Okay? So pag saprophyte, it means it can be grown in the, ano yan? It can be grown on decaying organic matter. Yun. Yung saprophytic or saprophyte. Okay? Also, pag facultative parasite then, it's an organism which has the ability to become parasite although it is saprophyte. Yun. So, saprophyte, may capability din siya to become a parasitic kasi nga, in-skip niya yung parasitic stage generation. Okay? And then, saprophyte naman, an organism that lives on dead organic or inorganic matter. So, lives in organic or inorganic matter. Yan. Lumalabas to sa exam ang mga common terms. O, may 2 points na kayo. Ay, naku. Yan. May 2 points na kayo. Okay. Next, we have facultative saprophyte. Okay. Pag facultative saprophyte naman, it is an organism. Okay. Organism that usually, okay, it is usually obtains its nourishment from living matter. Okay? Yung nourishment niya ay, ayan, obtained from the living matter. But sometimes, it can also obtain its nourishment from dead organic matter. No? Pwede din makuha yung kanyang nourishment sa dead organic matter. Okay? So, that is facultative saprophyte. Okay? Or, it is also an organism that has the ability to become saprophyte but is originally a parasite. Yun. Parang ano lang din, facultative parasite lang din siya. Ganon. Yun. So, facultative, it is a parasite. Okay? It is a parasite that can, okay, that can be a saprophyte. Can be saprophyte. Yan. May ability to become a saprophyte but is ordinarily a parasite. Yun ang facultative saprophyte. Pero yung facultative parasite, it is saprophyte but has the ability to become parasite. O, magbaliktad sila ha. Ulitin natin. Facultative parasites versus facultative saprophyte. Okay? Facultative parasite, ito yung originally, they are ordinarily, ano siya, saprophyte na kayang maging parasite. Okay? Si facultative saprophyte naman is a parasite that can become a saprophyte. Yun. Baliktad. Okay? Naintindihan? Okay, mabutit naintindihan. And then we have host. Host is a plant. A host is a larger organism that harbors a smaller organism. Harbors or smaller organisms. Okay? Whether a parasitic, a mutualistic, or commensalist guest. Okay? Also, a host is a plant that being attacked by a parasite. Okay, a host is a plant. It is a plant that being attacked by a parasite. Okay? Plant that being attacked by a parasite. Yung host. It is also a food relationship with a parasite. Okay? Ang host is also a food relationship with a parasite. Example, ang virus. Virus cannot live without a host. Tama? A host. Virus cannot live without a host. Hindi mabubuhay ang virus kung walang host. Dapat may host para mabuhay ang virus. Okay? Because the food of the virus is the host. Okay? And the host getting or harboring smaller organisms from the plant to make its own food and then now become a virus. Okay? Para mabuhay ang virus, kailangan ng host. So, yung suscept naman, okay, a suscept is a species which is capable of being infected or parasitized by another species. Okay, capable of being infected. Ibig sabihin, open for infection. And a parasite also that or parasitized by another species. Yun ang suscept. Okay? A suscept is also a plant, no, that is susceptible to a diseases whether or not the pathogen is parasitic. Now, whether the pathogen is not a parasitic, okay, whether the pathogen is not, okay, wait. The diseases whether or not the pathogen is parasitic. Okay, susceptible, whether the pathogen is parasitic or not. Yon, susceptible. Sample, nilalagnat ka. Okay. Nilalagnat ka, kita ng nilalagnat ka, that is already a symptoms. Ano yung sign doon ng ano mo? Nilagnat ka siguro, kulang ka lang sa tulog, stress ka, ganun. Or nagpaulan ka, that's a sign. No, pag symptoms, nalagnat ka, nafe-feel mo na may lagnat ka talaga sa loob. Pag nilalagnat ka, ibig sabihin you are susceptible. You are susceptible na pwede kang ma-infect kasi mababa yung immune system mo pag nilalagnat ka. So, pwedeng ma-infect ka ng mga viruses, yun, and other parasitic or non-parasitic diseases. Okay? And pathogenicity is refers to the ability of an organism to cause diseases. Okay? Pathogenicity is referring to the ability of an organism to cause diseases, like harm the host. Yun. Ability of an organism to cause diseases. So that is pathogenicity. Okay? It is the capacity of pathogen to cause diseases. Capacity of the pathogen to cause diseases. Okay? Pathogen to cause diseases. Capacity or kakayahan. Capacity. From the word itself, genosity, capacity of the pathogen to cause diseases. Yun. Or ability of an organism to cause diseases. ability or kakayahan para gumawa ng diseases. Ibig sabihin, wala pang nangyayaring diseases, wala pang diseases, gagawin pa lang, okay? So, that is pathogenicity. Okay? Pathogenesis naman is the process by which, okay, it is the process by which an infection leads to diseases. Infection, meron ng infection, ibig sabihin meron ng nangyaring diseases, so meron na palang nangyaring signs, no? May sign na siya, okay, that leads to diseases, so leads to symptoms. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung pathogenesis, no? Pathogenesis is the, pag sinabi mong genesis, ito yung development, okay? This development of plant diseases or disease development in the plant. Yun, development. Basta it talks about development of plant diseases. Yan. Off po yan. Ang sign kasi ng off minsan is ganito. Pagda ganito. Yan. So development of plant diseases. Yan. Or disease development of the plant. Yon. So that is genesis. Ibig sabihin, meron ng infection na nangyari. There's a sign. Okay, there's already symptoms that leads to diseases. Ano ba? Sa ano bang disease siya affected? Yun. Magkaiba sila with the pathogenicity, capacity pa lang, kakayahan na mag-cause ng diseases. Ibig sabihin, wala pang nangyayari. Pathogenesis, ibig sabihin, may nangyari na, hintay na lang kung ano maging results, no? Ano yung disease, anong disease ba siya affected? Yun. Okay, so that is pathogenesis. From the word itself, genesis, develop yan siya. From the beginning until the end. Okay? From the beginning, pag sabing genesis, di ba? Beginning man yan until the end. Development, by development, yun. And then we have virulence. Okay, virulence is described as an ability of an organisms to infect the host and cause diseases. Virulence, ginagamit sa virus na term, okay, describes an ability of an organism or capacity of the organisms to infect the host. Example, host, virus, to infect the host para mabuhay si virus, to cause diseases. Okay? So, the virulence is also referring to the quantitative amount of diseases that an isolate of a given pathogen. And then it can cause a given group of plants in terms of size, lesions, or number of lesions. So, kung gaano kadami ang host, ganun din kadami affected ng virulence. Okay? Ibig sabihin, pag madami ang host, may tendency na pwedeng ma-affected ng viruses or ibang diseases or can be caused a diseases. Yun. So that is virulence. Aggressiveness, ito yung measures the rate at which virulence is expressed by a given pathogenic isolate. Ibig sabihin sa virulence, di ba yung virulence host? Here, sa virulence, in fact, yung ability niya pa lang, ability. Parang kanina lang din sa pathogenicity. Pathogenicity is capacity to make diseases. Ganon din sa virulence. Sa virulence is ability niya pa lang, organism, to infect. Ability pa lang to infect. Ibig sabihin wala pang nangyari, ability pa lang. Kakayahan niya to infect a host. While aggressiveness, there is already infection happening. Okay, so which is the rate of virulence is expressed. Ibig sabihin, ilan ba yung na-infect? Gaano kadami yung ginamon? It means the quantitative amount and then by a given pathogenic isolate. No, ina-isolate to, pathogenic isolate para malaman kung gaano ka-aggressiveness or gaano na ba siya kadami yung na-infect sa plant. Aggressiveness para malaman kung gaano ba siya kadami, no? Gaano kadaming yung size ng lesions or number of lesions. Size of lesions and number of lesions, yun po yung mga host na affected na po siya ng mga diseases. Yun. Now, size of lesions, gaano kadaming host na affected by diseases or number of lesions. Aggressiveness, nalalaman kung gaano na ba siya kadami, gaano na ba siya ka-expanded. Ganon. So, ganon. Virulence, wala pang nangyayari. Kakayahan pa lang or capacity. Aggressiveness, may nangyayari na. Ganon. And we have disease resistance. Okay. Disease resistant. What is disease resistance? Resistance is defined here as the ability of the host to reduce the growth of the pathogens. Okay? Pababain yung growth ng pathogens ng disease. Thus, reducing both the loss of host, kaya di mawala ang host, fecundity due to infection, and the pathogen transmission from the infected host, but not the probability of becoming infected. Okay, so that is disease resistance. Also, pag sinabing disease resistance, it talks also about the inherent ability. Yon, inherent ability. Ano ba yung inherent ability? Inheritance. Yon. Inherent ability of an organism to overcome in any degree that effects of the pathogen. Inheritability, yung parang immunity, yung ganun ba? Yung kaya niyang makipag-fight sa pathogen to reduce the growth of the pathogen. Disease resistance ang tawag doon. So, kaya nga pag nagtatanim tayo ng crops, dapat yung crops natin ay disease resistance. Okay? Kasi para pag example sa BT core, BT eggplant ba yun, yung bagong labas? BT eggplant, sabi daw nila, resistance daw yon sa anong certain disease nga yan? Kalimutan ka na. Basta resistance siya sa isang diseases. So, ibig sabihin, pag may umatake na ganong diseases, kasi resistance naman siya ganon, immune na siya doon. Immune na siya. Ibig sabihin, kaya niya nang papatayin yung pathogen na yon. Kasi nga, mismo ang host kaya patayin na yun. Kasi nga, immune na ang plants sa diseases na yun. Okay, yun. That's why we call disease resistance. Okay? And we have susceptibility, the inability to overcome the effects of pathogens. Inability. Wala nang kakayahan. Ang susceptibility is parang ano lang siya, contrast lang siya or opposite siya ng resistance. Kung ang resistance, kakayahan na maapektuhan ng pathogens, ang susceptibility, wala nang kakayahan. Yun, parang open ka na pwede kang ma-affected by a virus or mga diseases, ganun. So, an ability to overcome effects of the pathogen. Opposite po siya ng resistance. Opposite. Okay? Opposite. Yan. Excuse me. And then we have tolerance. Okay, tolerance is a host. Okay, is a host defense strategy. Okay, host defense strategy that reduces the negative impact of infection on host fitness. Unlike resistance mechanism, iba ang resistance, right? Tolerance does not directly affect pathogens burden. So, ibig sabihin, magkaiba ang tolerance sa resistance. So, ang tolerance, yung kakayahan or ability ng plant to withstand. Pag sinabi mong withstand, yung, pag sa tao ba, may panindigan. Ganon, may panindigan. To withstand the severe effects of the pathogens without experiencing a severe reduction in yield. Ibig sabihin, kaya, tolerance, ibig sabihin, if your plant is affected by a specific pathogen, kaya niyang makipag-fight, no? Makipag-fight, kaya niyang i-withstand yung kasarili niya na hindi naapektuhan o hindi bumababa or nare-reduce ang yield. Tolerance ang tawag doon. Okay? Magkaiba po sila with the resistance. Ang resistance, immune na. So kahit magpasok labas pa yung immune na siya doon. So hindi na po nababawasan yung yield, no? Hindi po mababawasan yung kasi nga immune na siya doon. Pag tolerance siya, it means that ginagawa pa niya yung best niya, ganon. Kumbaga, it's not immune ginagawa pa lang yung best niya to fight the diseases. Ganon. So, parang sa tao ba, pag example sa COVID, ganon, yung pina-fight mo yung sarili mo, na ma-overcome mo yung COVID, ganon. So, that is tolerance. Okay, withstand or may panindigan or principles, ganon. And then we have mask symptoms. Actually, we have mask symptoms and symptomless carrier. Pag mask symptoms, ito yung mga symptoms na not expressed due to unfavorable condition. Ano yung sabihin ng not express, hindi nagpapakita or hindi siya showy. Ganon, di ba? Pag mask, pag naka-mask ka, hindi ka showy, you cover something or part of your face. So that is, you are not being expressed because of the unfavorable condition. Yun. Di ba? Kahit pag lumalabas ka, pag nagmamask ka, you don't like the pollution, so you put a mask. So, ibig sabihin, part of your face is being masked. Ibig sabihin, is not being expressed due to unfavorable condition or due to the pollution. Ganon. So that is mask symptoms. Ganon lang. Okay, pag symptomless naman carrier, ibig sabihin, a host that do not show symptom. Okay? Do not show symptom irrespective of environment. There is a symptoms of plant diseases. Ay, sorry. Bakit yun nag-ano? Bakit sumama? Andali. Hindi po kasama yan. Ano ba yan? Nakakaya ka self. Yan. Yan. Ito na yun. Hindi po kasama yan. Exempted po yan. Okay. Okay. So, pag sinabing symptomless, okay, symptomless carrier, ito yung host that do not show symptom irrespective of environment. Okay? So, kahit magkaroon ng unfavorable environment, respectively, no, wala siyang symptoms. They're so symptomless. Okay? Hindi sila carrier ng symptomless. Yun. Symptoms, right? Hindi sila carrier ng symptoms. Kaya, symptomless ang tawag. Okay, let's discuss about the disease triangle. Ito, lumabas dito sa board exam. May 1 point na kayo. Charot. Yan. So, ito yung disease triangle. We have the pathogens, the relationship of the host, and the environment. So, inside is the disease. Always remember that the disease, this illustrates the requisites for disease development. Okay? Kailangan ng pathogen, host, and environment para magkaroon ng development ng diseases. And always remember that the absence of one or more of these factors, or host, pathogens, environments, will produce no diseases. Ibig sabihin, walang maproproduce na diseases. Okay? So, if any one of the 3 factors is missing, the triangle is not complete. Tama naman. The triangle is not complete. No diseases will occur. Okay? And then simply, plant disease will not occur. Plant disease will not occur if there is no viable pathogen. Tama naman. Kung walang viable pathogen, wala ding disease, wala ding host. Diba? Pag walang viable pathogen, wala ding environmental, unfavorable environment. Ganon. So, or no susceptible host plant, it is referring to host. Yan. Or no susceptible host plant or the environment conditions are not favorable. Ganun po ibig sabihin nun. Okay? So, that is a disease triangle. Lumalabas din sa exam, pero ang question po is referring to, ano yan, ano ba yung term na yun? Referring to, kalimutan ko na yung term. Lumalabas din siya sa board exam talaga, guys. Lumalabas siya sa board exam, tapos, iba yung situation nila. Iniiba kasi iniiba ng board examiner yung creation ng statement. So, always remember, pag disease triangle, pag nagkulang ng isa, hindi makabuo ng diseases. Yun, ha? Lagi nyo ilalagay sa mind ninyo yun. Pag what are the factors in the pathogen? What is the factors in the pathogens? We have virulence, inoculum type, dispersal potential, inoculum potential, host range, saka alternation between hosts. Yun yung mga factors ng pathogens. Yung host naman, yung factors naman ng host ay host resistance, host age, yan, seasonal development, and host uniformity. Pag environmental factors naman, ano yung mga environmental factors? Yung humidity, temperature, drought, frost, biotic environment, competition, yun. And pwede din silviculture. Okay? So, sa environment. Okay? So, that is our discussion for tonight. Yan, 10 PM lang po tayo kasi kailangan ko magpahinga. Ang boses ko po ay namamalat na. Ayan, so naintindihan po ba ninyo ang disease triangle? Intindihan po ba ninyo? Okay. So tomorrow, it will be a crop science naman din ang ating discussion tomorrow and hopefully, mai-discuss ko po sa inyo, mai-discuss ko yung plant disease diagnosis, no? Ma-discuss ko sa inyo yung plant disease diagnosis tomorrow. Kasi pwede naman siyang isama sa crop science tomorrow. Kasi ang discussion natin sa crop science tomorrow is respiration, photosynthesis. So, pag natapos natin yun, pwede natin isabay yung plant disease diagnosis. Pero mag-iba lang tayo ng GMIT link para para ma-record pa siya. Ayun. So, kung paano tayo mag-diagnose ng plant diseases. Yun. So, there's a lot of terms that we need to know. Okay na po ba? By the way, ang answer key, thank you very much everyone. So, hopefully you understand the crop protections para hindi na kayo mahirapan pagdating sa board exam. Okay? Hoping na madali na naintindihan nyo na after how many times of studying, charot. How many years of studying? Parang tayo yan na. Okay? How many years? How many months of studying? So, naintindihan na natin kung ano ibig sabihin ng mga terminologies ng plant pathology. So, those are just principles, history, or some of the important terms na kailangan malaman natin sa plant pathology. Okay? So, meron pa. We need to discuss how you are going to diagnose plant diseases, non-infectious diseases, infectious diseases, yun, kailangan din po natin. And then pag-uusapan din na din po natin yung sa diagnosis of plant diseases, yung mga virus, ganun. Okay? Pag-uusapan na din natin yun sila. Okay, so hopefully, 'di ba na tackle na natin yan dati sa crop protection bago lang last month, so July yun ata or August, ganun. Month of July or August, napag-usapan na din na-discuss ko na din yung virus, bacteria, nematology, viroids, 'di ba? Napag-usapan na-discuss ko na 'yan. Na-discuss ko na 'yan sa inyo. So ngayon ang gagawin natin is review na lang doon sa part niya. Ang kailangan lang man kasi sa board exam is characteristics ng mga pathogens tapos yung mga common diseases, yung mga scientific names. Okay, kung anong crops sila anong crops ang affected nila. Yung ina-infect nila. So hopefully guys, you learn a lot tonight. Thank you very much again for being with me until the end of our presentation. Kamsahamnida. Ayan, kamsahamnida everyone. Charasayo, chukamnida. Congratulations. No, for we are now finished with the plant pathology. Hopefully guys, I am praying now we can finish it before the board examination. Okay, so by Sunday, magbibigay din pala ako ng post-test for crop protection. Okay, so iba po yung nasa final coaching ha. The same pa rin yung binigay ko sa inyo kanina. Crop protection, magbibigay ako for crop protection. Tapos, advance ko na din yung soil science. Para dalawa ang masagutan ninyo. Okay? Para yung animal science, ihuli na natin. Okay, so yun. Yun lamang. Maraming salamat. Kamsahamnida everyone. Again, this is Angelo, your Songsingnim. And Chokahamnida, Kamsahamnida everyone. And Anyong Hegaseyo. Anyong Jomosoyo. Bye-bye everyone. Jajayo. Good night. Anyong Jomosoyo.